Hey everybody, it's May 19th, 2013. My name is Colin. In September of 2011, I was prescribed Cipro, popular antibiotic, for what they said was diverticulitis. In actuality, I was just constipated, and the enema would have cleared me out, but the drug companies have so much influence over the medical industry that they just give you drugs like candy instead of actually trying to fix you. But that's not really what this video is about. I mean, that's really what all the videos are about, but I've got a little bit of a headache, I'm sorry. And I wanted to share with you some good news and some bad news. Which would you like to hear first? The good news is, let's go with the bad news. Bad news first. The bad news is I have this tendency to sort of trample on anyone that's good to me, or anyone that's on my side. I tend to trample. I tend to look for things that are wrong with them and take them out of context, or take things out of context. And I think that's what I did with my internet wife. I don't know if she would want me to say her name, but well, I said it in a previous video. I just, no matter what I have, you know, people give me things, people give me good things, and I just take them, and I take at that level, and then I forget how much I've been given and how much I have at that point, and I only look for things that will bother me. I only look for, I misinterpret things that they say most times as annoyances or stuff like that, and I can't really help it too much. It's kind of like the way I am. I realize that I'm doing it, but something she said bothered me, and I kept it inside. And then another thing she said bothered me, and I kept it inside. And instead of telling her and explaining my feelings, I punched it up on YouTube, you know, and didn't say anything to her. So she found out. It's not funny. It's not funny. She found out and got mad, and I just kind of blew it off. And then she said some stuff, and then I got mad, really mad at her, and then that's that. And then, you know, she's sick of me, because I kind of have done it to her in the past, so she's sick of me doing that. So I understand, you know, like she's just like, forget this for a while, you know, and I can't blame her, you know. I'm sick of myself, really. You know, I'm sick of myself. I'm sick of, you know, I've got this one thing on my side, and there's one person on my side, and, you know, and has given me things, and I just can't just enjoy that. All I could think about is what I don't have, and all this. It is a disease, like I've said in past videos, of the mind, you know, but you have to also think about what you do have. You know, there's guys playing poker out there making, you know, $120,000 bets, you know. You know, it's all relative, you know. It's like, it's so relative. Life is just so relative. It's just like you have to just have what you have and try to enjoy your life. That's all you can do. You know, you can't compare yourself to other people, because there'll always be somebody that has more than you and something that you want that you probably won't be able to get. And my mind doesn't realize, my body doesn't realize that. And, it doesn't realize that. It just works wrong, everything I see is like, oh, I want that, oh, I could have had that. I had that potential. And I'm trying to just find my own little world here, and I had my own little world with her and the things that she had given me, and I should have just tried to enjoy that world, but it was always, oh, I need to get better, I need to heal, I need to, which I do, but you still have to, just try to be in the present and try to enjoy that you actually have somebody on your side. So I just got all mad and I just said, fuck this, fuck Facebook, just close Facebook, which I'm sure millions of people are, in time have already said that, have been like, man, fuck Facebook. So I left Facebook a couple nights ago. It was last night. And then, I got frustrated. Probably wasn't thinking as good clearly as I was. And so I was sitting there making my chicken. And I'm stirring the chicken. And with a whisk. A whisk is not for stirring raw chicken with because there's so much resistance. I was holding the whisk wrong. So I was holding the whisk like this. I'll show you. I just happen to have the whisk here. I didn't plan this. The whisk was just... So I'm stirring the whisk like this. With some raw chicken in there and mustard, and it's not, so much resistance with the whisk. I should have been using a plastic spoon. It just retarded, and so, I'm stirring it, and it's like aching my whole hand and wrist and forearm because there's so much resistance. And I'm like, oh, well, let me just do this or something, let me just shift it and use my fingers as I'm stirring it. And it was something like this. And I did just a couple stirs. I don't know what I think I was switching to go like to grab it like this, which is what you're supposed to. You're supposed to whisk like this, not like this. But I kind of went in between here, so I'm like this, and this pain just shoots up between my pinky and my index finger, and just, I thought I didn't even know you had muscles here that could be painful, and I stopped, and I'm just like, oh crap, and it felt like, okay, I can still move it and everything, it's not too painful. But then this joint, whatever, there's I don't know, cartilage, a ligament or something in here that I had injured pre-flox, before I got floxed, and it took like 6 months to finally go away. So this got aggravated again after I did that, and now it's not going away for a day. It's been like just this slow burn. It's not really painful, but it's really annoying, and it's like this reminder of the whole situation with her, because if I wouldn't have just been such a dumbass with her, this wouldn't have happened. And this happened before when I got in an argument with her. I woke up and hurt my right foot. You'd think I would have learned the first time. And so I've just been really sad today. I've been regressing and not been able to observe and block, and just so sad, because I've never had a problem with my hands or my wrist post-flox. And it sounds like, oh, you're a baby, but I do everything with my hands, and to have this constantly aching, I've had it before, and it lasted like 6 months. So you know, how long do you think it's going to last while I'm floxed? You know, it's going to last a long time. And it's all my own fault, you know, because not only did I made 3 mistakes. The first mistake was I didn't communicate my feelings to her, like, hey, what you just said is kind of irritating me. The second mistake was I put it up on YouTube that I was upset. The third mistake was I didn't just cop when she got mad and say, you know what, I'm sorry, you know. I was like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong, you know. I have a right to be upset. You know, I'm human. You know. Fuck this. You know. So then, of course, after I hurt my wrist, well, I like these videos going longer than 10 minutes. I can just, you know, sit here and my 2 viewers can get tortured by my monologues. So, after I hurt my wrist, things just got worse, you know, and I ate a bag of cereal. I have these brown rice bags of cereal. I ate a bag. I just got a big ass bowl, and I just put the bag in there, and I put some really diluted milk in there, and I just wolfed it down. And then I cooked up I went on this food craze, and then I cooked up 2 loaves of bread, and I ate a loaf of bread, you know. And this morning I finished off the loaf, so I was doing really good not eating like too much, and then that just sent me over the edge, you know. Because, so you see how that makes me feel, you know. I was crying earlier today. Oh, you're crying, you know, you need to, you know. But you don't know, I mean, you work so hard, you know, not hurting yourself when you're floxed, you know, because it's so easy to hurt yourself. You work so hard, and then you make this one mistake, and you know that you're going to pay for it, and it's just so sad, you know. It's so sad, you know, because I like my hands, you know. I like being able to use my hands and my wrist, and it took this took it away, you know. I can use it, yeah, I can use it. It's not really painful, but it's inflamed here, and I just miss, like, just having the hands, you know, be able to move around and do things and not have any irritation or pain in them. I mean, I know that sounds, but it's important. Yeah, I know other videos I'm like, oh, I miss my breath. Well, yeah, I still miss my breath because I still am breathing fast, you know, but I was actually getting a lot done, you know. I was just starting to get a lot done with my hands. Like, I was getting more strength in my arms, you know. I was taking the trash out. I replaced the shower head, you know. I even replaced the air filter where I had to kind of lift this heavy thing. So my arms were getting stronger, and maybe I just was pushing it too much and thinking I had more strength by mixing with that whisk, you know, because that was really, you know. Anyways, what am I going to say that's going to reverse my injury? So, you know, I just want to, you know, it's just so frustrating, you know. I've regressed so much. My mind has regressed. My mind was just starting to be able to block. It wasn't enjoying things, but it was block, and it was in an informational period, and now it's just totally, you know, regressed because I need my hands, you know, I need my wrist. It's like, I guess it's like you know, when you have pain, there's a psychological reminder, you know, of what caused the pain and what could be if you didn't have the pain. And it's just, when it's constant, that's when it's bad. When you have something that's constantly going, that's when it really gets to you psychologically. And this is constant in my wrist right here. And I've tried ozonated olive oil, comfrey, and all this stuff, and it's like, you know. So I guess we'll do this 20 minutes, 20 minute video. So you only have 4 minutes of suffering left. You know, whenever I get down, you know, it's like, you don't even know, you know, I haven't cried like that and you know, it's just like, why? You know, why? It is hard enough to try to recover from this crap, but to get kicked, you know, to kick yourself, it's so maddening, and only people in this condition can understand what it's like to do something to yourself and have it set you back so bad and not be sure whether you can recover from it, and that makes what you did even worse. If I had some killer immune system and I always healed from stuff and I wasn't floxed and, you know, and I hurt my wrist or something like that, I would just, you know, you'd have confidence in your strength. But when you don't have that confidence and you know, our healing rate is just so slow, and it develops psychologically is what it does, and it crushes the fragile building that I was creating. And you know, it's getting to be spring and summer, and the weather is getting better, and things should be looking up as far as me healing possibly. And I hate it when things get better, but at the same, like right before the moment where things get better, you screw up. You know, that's what keeps happening. You know, it's like, it's so fucking maddening to be, the mental stuff is enough for me to deal with, but when you add stuff like this, you know, it gets me in that old like suicidal frame, you know, urges to like grab a knife and just stab myself. You know, I know that's silly because that doesn't work, but those urges, you know, the pain from it, the sadness, it causes those urges. They're not just random urges where I want to kill myself. It has nothing to do with eating honey or bread or anything like that. It has to do with what happened, you know. It's mental, you know. This probably isn't going to kill me, but it could linger and linger, and it's just a reminder of, well, I was floxed, but at least I had my hands, you know. My hands and my wrists were okay, you know, pain free. I could do all this stuff. I had the possibility of strengthening them and all this stuff. You know. I mean, but you know, like I said, I'm sick of myself. I understand. You know, she doesn't. You know, I don't even want her. I don't. I need a break because I'll just probably hurt her again. You know, I need to heal. You know, but how am I supposed to heal with this? You know, it's like, so I'm just like, this is my conduit. You know, YouTube. This is my conduit. You know, I didn't talk to anybody today. I said hi to somebody on the walk, but this is all I have. You know, it's like, so I've got 20 seconds. Probably wondering what the good news is. How could I possibly have any good news? Well, the good news is I was able to, I'll show you what I was able to do today. This is what I did. I was going like this. Except a little faster outside. So I was going a little bit faster than walking speed. I wouldn't call it jogging. I would call it like attempting to jog for about 50 feet. And I was breathing like Rocky. I'm like, you know. So, somebody's got a sick sense of humor up there. Somebody has the sickest sense of humor in the world. They're like, hey, Colin, we're gonna mess up your wrist because you're gonna act like a dumbass with Sarah, and you know, we're gonna mess up your wrist, but at the same time, we're gonna make your legs stronger. You know, we're gonna make you be, you know, we're gonna twist it a little bit. You know. I'm thankful for my legs and everything, but I want my wrist back. I was so paranoid. I was so paranoid of getting my skin, getting things on my skin. You know, I'm always like, oh, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to get a skin reaction. I don't want to do this. But it's okay to just like grind the crap out of some stuff. You know, it's just like, don't worry about your skin. It's the internal tissues that you want to worry about. So, you know, there's a warning to you people. You know, yes, you can injure yourself in your kitchen using a whisk. You know, a whisk is for flours and salt, like grainy type stuff to stir. You don't use this with heavy stuff. It's bad for your wrist. You see, I can feel it now. It's like a burning, like, not like a really bad burning, but it's just like a warm, really warm, dull feeling. You know, I don't know what that is, but like I said, I've had it before. It's from an old injury, and it was from trying to lift a couch pre-flux. And it stayed with me for like, I wore a wrist brace, and it would just stink up, and it just stayed with me. You know, granted, I was using my wrist a lot, you know, to unpack computers and everything, but it stayed with me for a long, like maybe 6 months, you know, 6 or 9 months. So now that it's been re-aggravated, and I'm in this state, you know, it's just, I know it's just gonna linger. It's just a question if I can live with it, you know, it drives me mad. You know. It shouldn't, but it does, because it's just a reminder of everything I've done wrong. So I think we're going to end the video. It's really sapped what little enthusiasm I had for cooking, and oh, I'm going to do all these cooking videos in general. It just sapped my enthusiasm for Facebook even, you know. It's like, all I want to do now, all I want to do when I'm depressed, you know, and my mind is being attacked, is eat. That's not good. I just ate a pound of chicken. see, I got my kitchen all set up. It's set up all nice and everything. I got everything organized. I had everything organized before that. But all I could look at was what was wrong with her, or what I thought she was saying wrong, like, oh, you're, you know, and this is all I have, is a YouTube, This is no way to live, but I had a life. I had her before. Now I don't even have her. I don't even feel like I deserve her unless I can heal, because I need to heal mentally too, So, I noticed that she wasn't on Facebook today, which is very odd. So I know she was probably just like the same thing. Fuck Facebook, So, hopefully she might watch my video. This video. And I'm not saying, that we should, never talk to each other, but I think we need to take a break. I mean, I need a break because I'm not well. And but I do care for her. This situation has me too angry at myself to be able to have a normal relationship with anybody. As weird as that sounds. That doesn't really make sense. But all I would want to do is talk about, oh, if I hadn't have done this, I wouldn't have messed up my wrist. That would be our conversations now. That's all I would want to talk about. That's all I want to talk about. And that's not normal. Nobody wants to be around that. It's almost like an act when I talk to somebody and ask them about what's going on with you and all this stuff. It's like, wow, this is my wrist, it's like, you don't even know. You don't even know what I've done, what I've been outside and I've just like prayed to the skies to just please, just end this, end this. It's just like, why? Why do you give me these flashes of hope and hurt me right before I get them? Why do you torture me like this? It was probably better before that I could only upload 10-minute videos, because now I just want to sit here, this new iOS, and I just want to sit here and talk, I don't want to hit the stop button. I guess I do have anger issues. I'm angry. I'm so angry at myself. I'm so angry at the Cipro and Bayer and the situation. I'm so angry at people's ignorance that I'm just angry at everybody. So I just look. I don't look at things in a positive way. You know, I'm not angry at everybody, but the thing about Facebook is you can take what somebody says and it's like they probably didn't really mean it like that, but you take it as like annoying, you know. It's like she said something about, you know, something I made, and said, oh, you didn't, you know, this person, you know, invented that, you know, made that. And I took it to mean like, well, that's the only thing she can say about what I did was, well, you didn't invent it, you know, somebody else did. And it's all about like, that's what she was saying before, but I'm just so dense. I didn't think about that. Is you don't get inflection in Facebook. You can't tell the tone of what somebody is saying, so you just look at the words and you're like, oh, and you take it, you make your own tone. So it sounded like she was just saying like about this thing that I was kind of proud of and everything, and all she could say was, oh, you didn't invent that, somebody else invented it. So that like got on my nerves, you know. And then I said something, and then she said something like kind of like a clarification, but you could also take it to mean someone just being a smart ass, and that's how I saw it. It was just kind of a smarty remark. And then before that she said something, before any of that she said something that I got me upset. So those three things, it was kind of like, well, I didn't want to say, you know, I didn't want to say anything then, because I wanted to keep talking to her, you know. I didn't want to piss her off and just be honest, you know. So instead of doing that, which is what I should have done, like I told you before, I put it up on YouTube, on my little comments. You know, I said something smart, like smarty there, you know. An idiot, you know. It's like, how old are you? And this is what I get. This is what I get. You know? And I just don't know, you know. It feels like I just can't. I can't talk. I know it sounds stupid, but I can't talk to her until this heals. It sounds stupid, but it's almost like I deserve this, you know. And I don't deserve her presence, you know. I don't deserve, even though there wasn't, you know, a lot lately, but I just don't deserve it, you know. I don't deserve to be with her right now. So, you know, I'm trying my best to, I'm going to try to ignore this. It's hard to ignore something that's constant, but I'm going to try to ignore it and hope it heals, you know. But I really stepped back last night. You know, I was getting a lot done, and what is life really? You know, what can my life be right now? You know, only thing my life can be, the best, you know, the best thing that my life can be would be for this to heal, for me to get a little stronger and start running. Ooh. Jesus. Like a skeleton here, cracking. And you know, I gotta stop jostling around, you know, because it jacks up my neck. And, you know, me to heal and start running, that would be best if I could actually run. And because that's some cardio, that's some heart rate and some burning of disease and blood flow, oxygenation, and all that stuff. That's ideal, is if I can run. And me to find my own life here, which would be simple, but like I said, you just gotta enjoy your life. You know, if my life is just cooking for people on YouTube, and you know, this healing and me healing and stopping the spasm, which is key, if those things happen, you know, then I think I'd be good enough. I think I'd be at the level of a person that I want to be, to see how things go with Sarah, you know, and at least help her, you know, because I don't think I've helped. I think I've helped her, but not intellectually. I haven't helped. I think I've helped her. I think I've sort of stopped helping her. It's kind of like I'm more like a. She doesn't need me as much now. Well, I'm not gonna. I don't want to say which. I'm not gonna speak for her, but. That would be the best, is this heals, I get stronger, I can run, I get the kitchen going, and I get the food going, and I get my spasms stopped, and then I'm able to stop my mind from this paralleling of everything. It's just entrenched, you know. I had a little teeny bit of it before Cipro, but now it's all my mind pretty much does. So those things happen, then I can tackle my mind and at least reduce it to a small level, and just, it's got to be it's a feeling, you know. The feeling has to go away eventually because it's in there, it's in my head, you know. It's a feeling, and I think if I keep blocking it, if I heal, I keep blocking it, and other things come in, other things happen, then maybe the feeling will die down some, and you know. I just am not cut out for pain, you know. I just this wrist is like, I'm just not cut out for it, you know. The thing is, when you do something to yourself, you're so angry about, I'm so angry at myself. I'm so angry about it and sad about it that I don't want to kill myself, because I'm like, you're just so involved in it. You're like, well, I don't want to kill myself, because that means that whatever I did wins, you know. So it's like, you'd rather suffer, you know, than let something you did to yourself win by killing yourself, you know. It's almost easier to kill yourself if it's out of your control, you know. If it's like, well, my liver started failing, you know. I was doing all I could, you know. I was doing liver flushes and coffee enemas, and I was eating perfect. My liver failed. Fuck, you know, boom. But when it's something you did to yourself and you're suffering, you're just like, you mother. You know, that's the worst, because you're caught, you know. You don't want to give up, but you're constantly reminded of what you did to yourself. So, I really, you know, and I really wish I could have just done cooking videos. You know, people much rather watch me do cooking videos than this. I I don't have the heart for cooking, you know, I just don't have the heart for the cooking videos, you know. I don't have the desire anymore, you know, when you're in pain, you don't really have a desire to learn stuff. I don't have a desire to look at all this new stuff and get these ingredients, and, you know, it's like, man, I just want to eat something simple, you know, you know, my wrist, you know, it's like, it really affects me. Pain really affects me, you know. When I'm, you know, if I'm healthy, and things aren't bothering me, I'm at a high level. You know, I'm like at a high level. But as soon as things go wrong, as soon as pain, you know, comes in, floxing is like the most horrible thing. I'm just so sensitive, you know, I get knocked down to such a low level, you know. It's like a curse. You know, me being sensitive was a curse. I had depth, you know, I had a lot of depth of understanding and compassion and feeling, but at the same time that means you can be put deep, you know. So it's a catch-22, you know. And when you repress it, that's the worst. That's what I did. And that's what I still do. That's what I did with Sarah. I just repressed my feelings. I couldn't just say, well, that kind of bothers me, you know, that you said that. That's all I had to say. That kind of bothers me that you said that. I couldn't type that out because I was afraid. Well, I wasn't afraid, but I was afraid. I was afraid of expression. And then you go outside and you know, I'm going on walks and I see these awesome houses and cars and people, healthy people, and it's like, it's not as bad. It's bad, but it's not as bad as it was. I used to see a Mercedes or a BMW, you know, and I just be like, I just break down and want to just shoot myself, or a Subaru or something. Because they're such cars I always wanted, you know, and it's just, and now it's got to be a really nice car, and then I'm kind of like, oh, I'll never get that, or, you know, it's like, I should have got that car, you know. That part is getting better. Because I feel like, you know, and everybody that's floxed should feel this way. I feel like that if you can recover from floxing, you actually, you have a lot of depth. You know, it's not that anybody would choose to get floxed, you know, and there's other ways to get depth and everything. But as far as an understanding of the world, I think you just learn. You have a lot to be proud of, you know. You know, it's character building if you can recover. You have a lot of character, you know, because you never gave up from this nightmare, and you recovered. And there's I don't know that there's anything else that you can heal from that is harder to heal from than a bad floxing, you know, because it's your cells, you know, it's your mitochondria, it's like everything in your entire body, you know. It's poison in all your tissues. It's like the perfect 1-2 punch. And you can heal from that. I mean, you've got if I can heal, I'll have a story to tell anybody. You know, I'll be tempted to go out and find, yeah, this is just, I don't know. I just, I was just thinking, if I healed from this, stop the spasm, healed. I'm never going to heal the connective tissue in my shoulder. Because this pops every time I raise my hand. It pops, and the same thing with my right hip. Every time I raise if I'm lying on my back and I raise my right leg up and then bring it back down, it's like crunch, crunch every single time. And that's like bone on cartilage or bone on bone or something. And that's destruction from the Cipro. But that's not like, it's not super huge. I could still run with that there. It's only when I raise it, the whole leg above, and when I raise my right arm really high, and my left is a little better. Left, it grinds a little bit, but it's okay. I can heal if I can run, if I can stop the spasm, if I can get my GI, to where I can eat something and then actually crap that same thing out that day, then, I'll have a story to tell. I could write I just don't have the memory to write a book. I could write a book if I could remember it all. Because I've just... But this, this has to heal. It's messing up my mind. This constant burning here. And I don't know how other floxies deal with the burning, with the neuropathy. I just don't. I give them all the credit in the world to deal with that. I just can't mentally. I can't. I think it's because I'm so bad mentally already. They're strong mentally, and we're strong mentally before they got flox. But I'm just so bad mentally that when I get physical pain, it's just, it sends me over the edge, and I just want to kill myself. Anyways, I think 50 minutes is the max now that it'll allow me to do. So we've only got a couple minutes left, and thanks if you're still watching. And tomorrow I'm gonna attempt, fuck you. It's fucking bullshit. I just wasn't careful, when you start doing something and your muscles start to like burn, like fatigue, that feeling, just a tip for you, when you get that fatigue feeling, stop what you're doing. That entire muscle fatigue, because I just kept going, and anyways, you get to go off and have your hands and stuff, use your hands and your wrists, and I got to deal with this, So, but you probably have other things. Alright, that's 50 minutes. No, we got 50 seconds. What do I want to say? Oh, I have been able to do internal release on myself, if that's what you want to call it, with the crystal wand. The crystal wand shaped like that. That's what it's shaped like. And I've been able to go up there. It's not too painful. A lot of coconut oil. And I just can't seem to find the spasm. Maybe I'm not going far up enough or far closer to the spine, but I haven't been able to find it. So still searching.